Welcome back, guys. We're back here with Dragonwolf. We're going to continue off from where we left off on the Policia. We're going to go find out what Rosso is up to, why he's not taking this case on. And I'm guessing... Oh, let's have a look at the thing. I'm guessing Moo will be our first point of call.
It was just some police paperwork, a search warrant.
Now, if Rosso is involved in anything, I'm going to make pretty doubly sure that Moo isn't. I'm 99% sure he isn't. He's too dumb and he's too much for his job.
Sergeant Moo?
Yes.
Two criminals and something else. I'll go for the two criminals first.
I'd like to report an assault.
Yes, monsieur. Where is the victim?
I'm the victim. I've been harassed by a pair of thugs.
I see. And where did this alleged assault take place?
Outside the Hotel Ubu. They stopped me as I was leaving and went through my pockets.
Could you describe the suspects, monsieur?
One looked like a gorilla, and the other looked like a weasel. Their names are Flap and Guido.
Bon. I'll get them this time.
Boom. He's clearly been after them for a while.
Have you heard of a man called Marquet?
Yes. He used to be known as the Mole of Montmartre. I heard he's been hospitalized, probably by one of his rivals.
Interesting. Turn everyone else is dying. He's been put in the hospital.
Which hospital was Marquet taken to?
The Hagenmeyer Clinic. In the Avenue des Hérissons.
Why was Marquet known as the Mole of Montmartre?
Because he lived in Montmartre, I suppose.
Yeah, but why the mole?
I don't know. Maybe he ruined people's lawns.
Well, you were about as helpful as nothing. John the Gem?
No.
I didn't think so.
Maybe not.
I'm glad it stops you if you go do something stupid. Oh, we've got our Stewart key back.
See you later, Sergeant.
Well, that didn't help us any way, shape, or form, did it? Alright, so that literally tells me we should go to the hospital. That's handy. Hospital. Oh. All I can think of now is a movie I watched at one point. Well, like a YouTube video. It was different ways of saying things in different language compared to German. Two of my favourites that went through like Spanish, I think it was Italian, English as a couple, so it was like hospital, hospitale, hospitale, Krankenhaus. The German sounded so aggressive. Have a look, it's easy to find, it's hilarious. There's like 3 or 4 videos. An ambulance was like ambulance, ambulanza, ambulanza, Krankenwagen. Anyway, onward.
There
Look
was
at the
no
Krankenwagen.
sign of the crew of the ambulance.
You want to steal the ambulance, George?
I felt a little guilty as I tried the door, like I was about to rob a grave. I gripped the handle with an involuntary tremble in my hand and pulled. The door was locked.
What was he going to try and get out of the ambulance, is my question. Right, so we have tiny nurse, weirdly dressed doctor, direction. Doctor first?
Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Really? If you wish to make an appointment, see the receptionist.
And she might be giant. She's sitting down and in the background and is the same height as the doctor. She's like an Amazon.
I'm looking for a guy named Jacques Marquet.
In which department does he work?
He doesn't. He's a patient.
I see. You do realize there are strict policies regarding visiting hours, don't you?
This is important. I have to talk to Marquet urgently.
We make no exceptions to the rules.
It's a matter of life
Rules.
and death.
The well-oiled running of this hospital is a matter of life and death. That's why we have rules.
I think I ought to warn you that Marquet is not what he seems.
Explain yourself.
He's in league with a bunch of guys who want to take over the world.
Nonsense. Besides, Marquet's employers have paid in advance for one of our most exclusive private rooms.
Could you tell me who Marquet's employers are?
Certainly not.
How dare you? Shake his hand.
May I have the honor of shaking you by the hand?
You may not. I don't encourage physical contact between my staff.
I will eventually get him with that.
Thanks for your help.
Talk to the potentially giant receptionist.
Excuse me,
Yes, sir.
is this the Hagenmeyer Clinic?
That's correct.
I thought I was in a garden center.
Oh, the plans. They were my idea. A little greenery to evoke the spirit of nature. How may I help you?
I'm here to see Jacques Marquet.
Oh, yes. Are you related to our client, sir?
Yeah, I'm his, long-lost brother.
A brother half his age with a different name and an American accent.
Yeah, people always say that. I blame Mom. We were separated at an early age. After a mix-up in the nursery at the Oakland shopping mall.
I've never heard anything so ridiculous in all my life.
I guess not.
Damn, George, you need to lie better.
Has Marquet been visited by a man in a clown costume?
Oh, no.
You
Not
haven't
with a
seen a
clown.
man in disguise?
Well, there's Theodore the bear. He comes every Thursday to entertain the children. Personally, I think he scares them half to death in that crummy old bear suit. If I was stuck on my back with tubes in every orifice, he's the last person I'd want to see.
Has Marquet had a visit from a pair of gangsters?
I should hope not. Can you describe them?
A thin guy who looks like a weasel and his friend, the gorilla.
Sounds as if they escaped from the zoo.
So, do I get to see Marquet before the funeral?
That attitude will get you nowhere. My instructions were quite clear. No one gets to see Marquet. So unless you can prove you're a relative or a close acquaintance, you're wasting your time here.
I'd like to shake you by the hand.
Don't be fresh, young man.
Look at this ID pass.
So you're Merlin. Marquet's been asking for you.
For me?
Yes.
Oh.
He was shouting your name when they brought him in here. Now, let me see. He was on Ward B12, as I recall.
Nice.
Oh, he's being transferred to... Oh, dear. He's on Ward J2. That's Nurse Grendel's ward.
What's so bad about Nurse Grendel?
She runs that ward like a South American prison.
Keeping a well-disciplined ward isn't a crime, is it?
Well disciplined. In the discipline and punishment stakes, she'd whip the butt off the Marquis de Sade. Everything, I mean everything, is done to a strict routine. 6 o'clock alarm call, 6:10 bowel movements, and woe betide anyone who doesn't have a result. Those patients of hers are like Pavlova's dogs.
She sounds like a real nightmare.
And then some.
Can't force people to have a bowel movement.
If Nurse Grendel is that bad, how come the authorities tolerate her?
She's like part of the furniture.
I was beginning to get the picture. This woman was jealous, with a big green capital J. How do I find Nurse Grendel's ward?
Down the corridor on the left, turn right at the senior consultant's washroom. Right again at the executive coffee lounge. Bear left past the administrator's sauna. And turn left at the end. That's J2. And good luck.
How big is this hospital?
Thanks for your help, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Right, as with any game, if they tell me to go left, I'm going to go right and see what I'm missing.
As I turned the corner, I saw the source of the hellish noise which echoed through the corridors. It was an industrial polishing machine with an odd-looking guy in tow.
Hey now, you can't go in there.
How come?
I'm responsible for the contents of that cupboard.
Hello?
What's that?
I said hello.
Oh, hiya.
I'd like to talk to you for a minute.
That's what I thought you said. Don't look so down in the mouth. No matter how bad things seem, I never let life get on top of me.
Oh, yeah? What's your secret?
Why, it's easy. All you have to do is smile and whistle this little tune.
You know what? If you start whistling, I'll bust you in the teeth.
Aww.
It's a deal.
What's wrong with you, George? Man's happy.
Have you seen any unsavory characters lurking about in the quarters?
You.
No, sir, I haven't. But I've got nothing to worry about. What's that, Mr. Shiny? You take good care of the rascals, I'll bet. With a friend like him, I've no
Oh,
fear
dear.
of oppressors.
It must be a great comfort.
He is.
Let's ask it. We have to ask about Mr. Shiny.
Would Mr. Shiny be your polishing machine by any chance?
Please, don't call him that. He's more of a friend than a machine. I've had Mr. Shiny for 3 years, and he's never let me down once.
Oh, you poor bastard.
How come you got so attached to a polishing machine?
I asked you not to call him that. He's got a name, you know.
Yeah, Mr. Shiny. It's just that...
You think it's odd, don't you? I don't mind. The rest of the staff think I'm twisted. I heard them snorking behind my back when I gave Mr. Shiny his weekly pull through.
Okay.
Do you know where I'd find a patient called Marquet?
No, I'm not allowed on the wards with Mr. Shiny.
If we're going to get anyone who's going to be him, isn't
Would
it?
you like to shake my hand?
Not until I've washed, if you don't mind, sir.
Alright, so...
See you later.
Yeah, take care now.
I don't know why we're including something that's covered. So if we pull out his Mr. Shiny thing, he's going to go and plug it back in, isn't he?
As I tugged the plug out of the socket, the polishing machine coughed, spluttered, and died.
Mr. Shiny, what's wrong, pal?
Oh, this poor little guy. Right, in the cupboard. In the cupboard. Go, go, go. Don't watch him. Go. Why would you watch him? I assume that's what we had to get, so let's go this way.
Good afternoon, Doctor.
Oh, hi. Is this Ward J2?
Yes, sir. The patients are ready for your inspection, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse.
You'll need this, Doctor.
She gave me a long, narrow metal box and a stunning smile. Thanks.
Could you take a look at the client in bed number 3 now? His name is Eric Sopmarsh.
Do you have any clowns on the ward?
Why, yes, we do. A professional clown.
I'll bet he lightens the place up.
Hardly. Monsieur Boissy has been in a coma for the last 3 months.
What's wrong with Boissy?
He was involved in a very nasty accident. A silly stunt involving a unicycle. His current condition is due to post-traumatic shock. It's unlikely he'll ever perform as a clown again.
It's an ill wind that blows nobody any good.
Well, that sounds depressing.
Do you have a patient named Marquet on this ward?
Oui, monsieur. He is in the private room at the end of the ward. He has been placed in strict isolation.
Why?
Why is Marquet in quarantine?
If you wish to know more, you'll have to speak to Herr Hagenmeier. All I know is that Marquet's room is strictly out of bounds.
Do you know who paid for Marquet's room?
No, of course I don't.
Preferential treatment like that must cost an arm and a leg.
That's not my concern, monsieur.
What is this device?
It's for taking the patient's blood pressure, doctor.
Why would you ask that? That's clearly out and you.
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
The nurse was stunningly beautiful. The guys on this ward sure were lucky to be in her care.
Camden, George. Camden.
This guy didn't look sick to me. He didn't have spots or stitches, and he certainly didn't have a fever. Hello? Anybody home?
Who are you?
My name is Dr. Stobart, and I'm here to steer you down the rocky road to recovery.
Dr. Monroe said there was no cure for what I've got.
Your problem is you stayed in bed too long.
Are you sure you're a qualified doctor?
You better believe it.
Oh, George, why would you give your real name when you're presented by a doctor? And why would you not look at the guy's notes? You'd be like, you've stayed in bed too long. Pull back the sheets, he's got no legs.
What can you tell me about Marquet?
He's the man in the private room, isn't he? That room was mine before I was tossed out like a common squatter.
Oh, bad lad.
Do you know what's wrong with Marquet?
They won't even say what's wrong with me. Tell me, doctor, what's your opinion?
It's too early to say.
But I've been here for 3 months.
What's your impression of Nurse Grendel?
She's a very efficient young woman.
Efficient? You make her sound like a vacuum cleaner.
I've no complaints.
Is that a bit of innuendo, or?
The woman in reception described Nurse Grendel as a monster.
Well, that's simply not true. She's quite strict, but that's her job, isn't it? You've got to have discipline in a place like this.
Alright, let's take your blood pressure,
I'm
shall we?
going to take your blood pressure.
Why?
I'm a doctor. It's my job. Seems fine to me.
You're not doing it right.
No way. Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, doctor. Who is it?
A cold-blooded killer. I'll come back later.
Okay. We'll not talk with her.
Pardon me, nurse.
Oui, monsieur?
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
No extra things. This is all the way right, shall we?
Doctor!
What is it?
You haven't taken my blood pressure.
Seems fine to me.
You're not doing it right.
Of course I am.
No, you're not. Dr. Monroe never did it like that.
I can't take a satisfactory reading while you're excited like this. I'll come back later.
Oh, doctor.
What now?
You didn't fit.
I hate this guy. He's clearly the puzzle
Okay,
we've got to
let's
solve.
try again.
You don't have the first idea what you're doing, do you?
I'll come back when you've recovered your manners. This guy didn't look sick to me. He didn't have spots or stitches, and he certainly didn't have a fever.
Let's make him look very sick.
Hi, it's me again. Do you know what this is?
It looks like plaster.
Oh, the grease paint.
Have you any idea what this is?
No, Doctor. I wouldn't even like to guess.
I'll
We can
come
make
back
him look
later.
really sick with the grease paint.
Hi, it's me again. Have you any...
No.
Okay, same thing.
Do you recognize this red nose?
When in doubt.
Doesn't that belong to Boissy?
No, I found it in a sewer.
He's a clown, you know. You wouldn't think so to look at him now, would you?
Do you know what this tool is used for?
I'd rather not, Doctor.
Have you ever heard of the Club Alamut?
I'm not really a nightclub man, Doctor.
Have you heard of a guy called Merlin?
No, Doctor.
Probably won't like me.
Does this gem mean anything to you?
No, Doctor.
I'll come back later. Pardon me, nurse.
Oui, monsieur?
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, I don't.
Do you recognize this tissue?
No, I don't. It looks like a chronic health risk to me.
Well, I've been carrying it around for days and I'm okay. Do you want this,
Device for measuring blood pressure?
Yeah, do you want it back?
No, thank you.
Does this gem mean anything to you?
It's beautiful, but I've never seen it before.
Does this mean anything to you?
The Club Alamut? I've never heard of it.
Does this tool mean anything to you?
I don't recognize it.
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
I've just got this. There's got to be something with this. Take his blood.
Pardon me, nurse.
Oui, monsieur?
Thank you,
Talking
nurse.
really in it.
Au revoir, monsieur.
This guy didn't look sick to me. He didn't have spots or stitches, and he certainly didn't have a fever.
Where's this guy? He just keeps waving all the time.
Hi, it's me again. I'm going to take your blood pressure.
Why?
I'm a doctor. Seems fine to me.
You're not doing it right.
I'll come back later.
Let's go out. Who are you?
The
Oops. Okay, something's clearly off because I can't look at that guy.
The young man's
There we
face
go.
was full of eagerness and enthusiasm. I figured he was fresh from college.
Well, he's new. Have a chat with him. Why does it keep going out of the room? I want to talk to this guy. Not go this way, talk to this guy.
The young man... Hi, my
There we
name's
go.
George Stobart.
Yes, sir?
That was harder than it needed to be.
Pleased to meet you, sir.
Call me George if you like.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's my name.
My name's Benoit, but everyone calls me Bunny.
Bunny?
That's right. I used to have this cute habit when I was a kid.
Keep it to yourself, Benoit. Do you know anything about a patient named Marquet?
No, sir, I don't know much about any of the patients.
I've never met a doctor who admits that he's only human.
I'm only a trainee, sir. I'm sure I'll get the hang of things.
Only human.
Do you know the nurse on Ward J2?
No, monsieur. This is my first day here. I can't wait to get my hands dirty. I was talking about treating my first patient, of course. I didn't mean I'd get my hands dirty with a nurse.
Shut up, Benoit.
Okay, sir.
No one at all thought you were going to get dirty with an nurse saying get your hands dirty. Oh, you've got a fault
Shake
for this.
my hand, Benoit.
I don't think that's a good idea, sir.
How come?
Dermatitis.
I don't have dermatitis.
I do.
Fair enough.
Here, take this pressure gauge.
Thank you, sir. What do you want me to do with it?
Well, keep it safe until I think of something. Does this gem mean anything to you?
Not me, sir.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, monsieur. I've never seen him before.
See you later.
Right.
Hi, I'm Doc...
Yes, sir?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Why didn't you call him on that shit? Hi, I'm the exact double of the guy you just saw, and said that I was Merlin. Now I'm a doctor with a different name.
Excuse me, sir.
Aha! Just the man. You must be the new boy.
Yeah, I must
Sure.
Well, stop wandering about and make yourself useful. Bunny, come here, boy. This is Benoit, my nephew. Can I trust you to do that
I
thing?
see what it's at. Sure.
He is fresh out of medical school. It will open his eyes to see a real doctor on the job.
I'll bet.
Show him around. Let him see some real suffering.
Oh dear God. Right, get back here, son.
Hey, Benoit.
Yes, sir?
Oh,
Do you still have that gauge I gave you?
Ah, yes. What do you want me to do with it?
Keep it safe until I think of something. Follow me, Benoit.
I'm right behind you, sir.
to the wards. Oh, he's coming with me.
Hey, Benoit.
Yes, sir?
Do you still have that gauge I gave you?
Ah, yes. What do you want me to do with it?
Use it on Eric Sopmarsh.
Okay.
Well, he's getting his bloods taken. Rather, sorry, blood pressure taken. I can sneak by him, right? Christ.
He sat like a statue of a sack of potatoes, but the cop's eyes were as watchful as a hawk's. I'm Dr. Stobart.
Bonjour, docteur.
Watchful as a hawk's. Look at him, man. He's seen some shit.
Have you seen any suspicious characters on the ward?
Yeah, I have.
A gorilla and a weasel?
No,
This was a tatty old bear.
How was the bear acting suspiciously?
Well, he was wearing a homburg.
Is that against the law?
No, but it's pretty weird for a bear.
Fair enough.
Have you heard of a guy called Marquet?
He's in quarantine, Doc, right behind this here door.
Marquet is just the man I wanted to see.
I wouldn't go in there if I was you. He has anthrax.
Anthrax? Seriously?
I have to visit my patient.
What for?
Routine. I have to check he's still breathing.
What if he's not?
I'll sign the certificate and register his bed as vacant.
That's a cold and distant attitude to death.
Well, I've been institutionalized to the point of godlike aloofness.
The white coat suits you.
Thanks.
Shake
Would
of
you
the
like
hand?
to shake hands?
What for?
As a gesture of goodwill.
On reflection? No.
What does this tissue suggest to you?
It looks as if it has been used to wipe Satan's bottom.
I hate to say it, but you could be right.
Can I just go
Catch you
through
later,
now?
officer.
Au revoir, Doc.
I apparently can just stroll right in. Oh, holy shit. We've been beaten 7
Okay.
ways from Sunday.
Yes, I am Marquet. I've been expecting you.
You have?
Well, what are you waiting for? Get it over with.
I just want to know what I should do with the gem.
The Lamar gem.
Yeah, right here in my pocket.
I thought you were
Hush-hushing.
one of the assassins.
Not me. I never inhaled.
So, you were sent in my place?
Yeah. You could hardly make the trip to Ireland in your condition. What should I do with the gem?
Deliver it to the Grandmaster. Quickly tell him that I have found the tripod right here in Paris.
You have it?
Not yet, but it's being taken care of. I hired a couple of stooges with a flair for petty crime.
Would that be Flap and Guido by any chance?
You know them as for Klausner. He has gone off to Syria on a wild goose chase.
They have geese in Syria?
He has a theory about the location of the...
God, this guy's just dying in front of me.
That's enough excitement for one day, Monsieur Marquet. What are you doing here?
Talking to this patient, of course.
Monsieur Marquet is my patient. If Herr Hagenmeyer was to hear that...
Okay, I'm going. I'd learned all I could from Marquet anyhow.
Ah, there you are, sir. I was just
Wow.
coming to look for you. I finished with your pressure gauge.
Thanks, Bunny.
What's that noise? It sounds as if someone's having a cardiac arrest.
It's all right. The doctor's in there with him.
Are you sure he was a doctor?
Oui, monsieur. He showed me his ID. It was Dr. Braille.
There's no Dr. Braille working here.
He's an imposter!
Hey, so you know there's not a
The door's
Dr.
locked.
Braille,
Help me,
but you
officer.
don't know there's not a Dr. Stobart.
Stand back, monsieur.
Why? He's buggered off.
Hello, Georges.
I found Jacques Marquet.
Did he talk?
Yeah, he talked. For the very last time.
He's dead.
Yeah, killed in cold blood by a bogus doctor.
That's despicable. What kind of guy would pass himself off as a doctor and take advantage of a dying man? Was it Khan?
No, I don't know who he was, but it certainly wasn't Khan. He got away, out the window.
What the hell?
Have you ever heard of the Hashiashin?
No.
Marquet said that they were his biggest enemy.
His biggest enemy was the bogus doctor.
Don't remind me. That guy was evil. He had wild, staring eyes like a dead fish. I'll never trust a doctor again. Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves.
Right.
I guess I'd better go back and talk to that weirdo.
Which one, Rousseau or Sergeant Mou? Oh, but you're referring to Andre.
I'll let you work it out.
Right, I suppose the next place we're going to is the museum. So, I can't save it. Right, let me go to the museum. Yeah, museum. So we'll save it there. And we'll have a little... Oops. And we'll have a little break there, because I've got a funny feeling this will take a little while. But this has been good. We've found out, obviously, it seems to be Assassins and Templars. You know, see Assassin's Creed for details. They seem to be opposed, at odds, chasing something for the same reason. And we know that the Assassins are definitely more, shall we say, proactive when it comes to killing. So we'll have a little look in the museum next time and see what we can find. As always, thank you very much for watching. Feel free to leave any comments. And this is Dragon Wolf signing off. Thank you.